So let's get started right now. And my first question goes to Erlin from the OSCE. Erlin, the OSCE is supporting several countries in strengthening their responses to financial crime involving virtual assets. Could you please share with us some concrete examples of technical assistance delivered by the OSCE and practical results of this assistance? And also, the second part of the question is, why is this work of international organizations like the OSCE so important?
Good morning, good afternoon, good night from wherever you are joining. My name is Erlin, as Vera mentioned. I am an associate anti-corruption officer working here at the OSCE Secretariat in Vienna. Thank you so much, Vera, for the question. I will structure my answer in three parts. If you allow me, I will provide a brief overview of the OSCE, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, for those participants who are not, who might not be familiar. Then I will talk a little bit about the project, the technical assistance project of the OSCE that focuses on virtual assets. I will continue then with some concrete technical assistance provided as part of this project, and then finish off with some thoughts on why our work and why the work of international organizations is important. So as said, a little overview on the work of the OSCE. So we are the world's largest regional security organization. We are comprised of 57 participating states, as we call them, or member states, across Europe, Central Asia, and North America. And we take pride in our comprehensive approach to security, which means that we are concerned with a very broad range of security-related issues. And this list has grown over the years. Now also it includes virtual assets. So myself and Vera, we are part of the department that deals with the economic and environmental aspects of security. And as part of this department, we have a mandate on anti-corruption and anti-money laundering, of which this project falls under. So within this mandate, the OSCE in 2022 already, so almost 4 years ago, launched an extra budgetary project. Its title is rather long, but it basically looks at innovative policy solutions to mitigate money laundering risks of virtual assets. Initially, the project's beneficiaries were 4 participating states, 4 members, 4 beneficiary countries. But soon after, the interest in the project grew, and later on it included 7 additional beneficiaries. And today, the project has 11 beneficiary countries across Eastern Europe, South Caucasus, Central Asia, and it also includes Mongolia. So what does this project do? How it is structured? It has what we call components, 4 interrelated components. The first component aims to raise awareness of people, but specifically practitioners, on what are virtual assets to begin with. As we know, this is a very fast evolving technology, even a little bit difficult to keep up. So it's very important to continuously inform and educate practitioners about them. But most importantly, what are the risks associated with their use? We know that they are an innovative technology, they have a lot of positive use, but criminals have increasingly started to use and abuse them. So the project aims to raise awareness on what are some crime typologies that we see with virtual assets. Second component of the project is to support authorities, national authorities, with aligning their legislation and regulation with good standards, international standards. So we work with the relevant authorities in this regard. One specific good international recommendation or set of recommendations come from the Financial Action Task Force. So we work with authorities to help them understand what are these recommendations, why they're important, etc. The third project component delivers hands-on trainings for authorities. And maybe here I would like to mention what kind of authorities we are talking about. So financial intelligence units are at the front of this matter and of this fight, prosecutors, judges, regulators, different law enforcement, so police as well, investigators, etc. So in terms of capacity building or trainings, workshops, we have a very wide range of activities, and I would like to mention a few as examples. So we provide trainings that focus on investigation of crypto-related crimes, and here with us, we have one of our trainers, in fact, the lead trainer, lead expert of the project, Michal Gromek, who will speak shortly, and he's been part of several of our trainings, workshops, both on the investigation and the regulation side of things. So we also deliver trainings that look at the blockchain technology and tracing blockchain transactions. We've worked a lot recently with prosecutors and judges on cases. So what happens when on their desk a case involving virtual assets land? A lot of this language, a lot of this technology is new to them. So how do they handle digital evidence? How do they read it? How do they adjudicate, cases involving virtual assets? And we also work a lot on the supervision of virtual asset service providers or companies that provide virtual asset services. So this is in the capacity building realm, so a very broad range of activities. And fourth, we do a lot of interagency international cooperation related activities. So as we know, virtual assets operate across borders, so it's very important for authorities to connect, to talk to each other, to share information. So the project actively connects law enforcement, regulators, but also international partners, international standard setters for exchange on what works, what doesn't work. And most importantly here, I would say international organizations create bridges for potential coordination and cross-border cooperation down the line. So this is in a nutshell the project components. I would like to here highlight that this initiative, like most of OSCE's projects, are demand-driven. So our activities are designed in a way that they respond to the requests and the needs of the beneficiaries. We don't come with a one-size-fits-all approach, which is very important. And so we work with authorities that might lack the regulatory, investigative, and institutional capacity to deal with this phenomenon. In terms of concrete technical assistance delivered, we've done a lot in the last 4 years, but I would like to focus a little bit on our work in Moldova, where I've been personally involved. And we also have with us Mr. Valentin Draganel, the deputy head, who will then elaborate a little bit more from the beneficiary's point of view. But I would like to give 2 concrete examples of what we've done and the concrete impact of our work. So at the end of 2024, we supported Moldova in developing a national risk assessment, a sectoral one, so specific to virtual assets. Now, why is this important? I would like to highlight here that every country, every jurisdiction might have different challenges, different problems, and different solutions when it comes to virtual assets. So it's very important for jurisdictions to really look at their own milieu and understand what is happening and how it might be affecting crime. So while some countries are, for instance, major crypto trading hubs, some countries might not have a lot of activities when it comes to crypto. Some countries might face risks linked to fraud, others to different kinds of crime typologies, etc. So a national assessment, a sectoral one, is very important because it helps jurisdictions to map out how virtual assets are used domestically. And very importantly, it helps to map out the vulnerabilities in the, for instance, anti-money laundering sphere. So we supported Moldova, and the Financial Intelligence Unit was spearheading this process. So it's very important to mention that we were not working alone, of course. It was in cooperation with the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit. And as a result of this sectoral needs assessment, it turned out that there are quite a number of vulnerabilities in the country concerning virtual assets. So this then along with some other factors, led to Moldova thinking about regulation and its legislation, because up to that point, there was no regulatory framework on virtual assets. So currently, Moldovan authorities are actively and working quite a lot on developing their legislation on virtual assets, and maybe Valentin might mention a little bit more, but the legislation is set to be launched at the end of the year. As I mentioned earlier, that there are a lot of capacity building activities. Perhaps to mention a little bit here concretely, the impact of some of this work, so not just the OSCE, but other international organizations that have been providing support in this regard, helped authorities last year to develop their capacity so that they could trace over $100 million worth of illegal crypto. So this is only in 1 year. So because the authorities had the capacities, the knowledge, the tools as well to do this, they were able to trace, detect, and then also stop over $100 million US dollars, sorry, of illegal crypto. Finally, why the work of international organizations matters. So we always say this at the OSCE, we have a very important convening power. We provide a neutral and trusted platform for exchange of information, exchange of knowledge. And I would like to highlight it once again. So we bring countries perhaps with different regulatory systems and capacities to share what has worked, what has not worked. Then we also bridge global policy with national practices. So as mentioned earlier, the Financial Action Task Force is a global trendsetter, policy setter in this area. We support national authorities to take this information, these recommendations, and then translate them into the local legislation. And finally, the international organizations serve as multipliers of expertise. Instead of each country, each jurisdiction reinventing their own solutions, we provide this platform. We facilitate collective learning, again, on what might have worked in one jurisdiction that could perhaps benefit another jurisdiction. So yeah, we've done a lot of such events where we gather different jurisdictions together for dialogue, for discussions. We bring also experts in this topic. So I will end here and then happy to receive any questions.
Thank you so much, Erlin, and thank you really for those concrete examples which have real impact. It's always important to show that.